Hey everybody, I think we're live here on YouTube. This might be my last late night gun chat for a while. Um, kind of had free internet for the COVID thing, so I'm not sure we're willing to pay for it yet. We're gonna see how that works out. So we're gonna call about that soon this week. But thanks for joining late night gun chat, and this is where we just talk about the guns you like and questions you might have for me. I'm not an expert compared to a lot of people, but questions about bear defense guns come up every week. Questions about politics, just whatever you're doing. Questions about my, gluten-free diet, whatever you want to talk about. Holsters, equipment for use in the wild. It's pretty cool. So anything y'all want to talk about, just put something in the gun chat, and I'll talk about some things. I was out hunting with one of my Patreon members today, and we got several things, but let's see who's here. We got a 67 Rebel SST AMC. Pretty cool. Gunpowder Beauty. Good to see you. Carpet everybody. Yo, what's up? So I went to Alaskan Ammo after we went hunting, and I've got some rounds to test. We got 25-06, 115 grain nozzle petition. That should take down any game in Alaska, to be honest with you. Wouldn't be my first choice for moose or, grizzly bear, but should get it done. I got 6.5 Creedmoor. 120 grain GMX. It's like Alaskan Dabbers is here and shooting with Uncle Dan. And me and my Patreon member, we're going to work out this. We got the Buffalo Boar for 45 Super, 45 ACP plus P, and 460 roll. I'm going to shoot them all out of the same gun on a video. So it's a little video we worked out. So that Booger Dog's up here. Gary is here. Good to see you, Gary. All right, and then a lot of people after the 357 Magnum versus 10 millimeter blew up video. Thank you. It's at almost 15,000 views or over 15,000 views by now. So thank you guys. A lot of people requested 10 millimeter versus 44 Magnum, which I've done before twice. But we're going to do a bear thing here out of the Glock 29 and the Glock, or the Ruger Super Red, or the Ruger Red Hawk 2.5 inch versus the Glock 29 and the Dangerous Game. I think Jerry Locke has been asking for this 265 grain Dangerous Game a lot. Darth Yogi's here. Booger Dog, yeah. Nozzle Partition. There you go. How'd the hunt go? I saw one bear. I got a shot off, and I missed like an idiot because the shot was at 15 yards, and 338 was sighted in for 100. So you had like that much difference, and it hit a thick piece of dry wood about that big, and just went like that. Even after, even with a 225 grain, Barnes. So maybe a lead bullet wouldn't do that. Probably need to go back to the nozzlers, but yeah, totally my fault. I need to go back to the nozzle petition. I think it was more accurate too, but it's $94 a box if you could find it. So I don't know. Y'all tell me what to do. Yep. Thumbs up. Thanks, Dan O'Neill. Good to see you, Dan. Lever Guns 50. Awesome channel as well. So that's that. So again, it's late night gun chat, everybody. We're here to answer your questions. That's what it's all about. You guys make the chat, and I've invited some other people to join. A lot of people tell me they like it better, and it's just myself. All cool either way. So y'all tell me what y'all want to do. I'm on StreamYard. StreamYard doesn't quite catch up with the chat as fast as YouTube itself does. So please, go ahead and type stuff in as you need to. Any questions you might have about the ammo shortage, or I found 1,000 rounds of 9mm the other day at Alaskan Ammo, so I picked that up, and 100 rounds of 9mm yesterday at Alaskan Ammo, picked that up. So got some good stuff going on there. That's that. So gonna black bear hunt till the end of the week, and after that it's salmon fishing because the bears will start eating the salmon, and that's that. Well, we all missed. The first doe I ever shot at went about 20 feet to the left. Yeah, American Fitness, I understand that. My first deer, American Fitness, was running. I wish I could duplicate this shot. I'm not trying to brag, but like it was running as fast as it could through the woods, through open hardwoods in Georgia on a ridge. It was after a hurricane had come through Florida and then cleared out most of the fall leaves in Georgia. So you could see, and I just literally threw the gun up and went, boom, dropped her right there. It was my first deer. It was about 40 yards, running as fast as it could, hauling the mail. It was a safe shot, so my dad let me take it, and he was so surprised that she went down right there. So that's that. RT Guns and Gear, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. All right, let's see. Shooting Uncle Dan. I've always thought that 25-6 did not quite live up to my hopes. In reality, 243 or 6mm or even 6.5, depending on grain weight, is just good or better. What are your views? Okay, so having done the 25-6 versus 6.5 Creedmoor video, I really like 6.5 Creedmoor better. 25-6 really needs that 24 to 26 inch barrel to get everything out of it, whereas you can get away with the 22. So that's that. So I the 6.5 Creedmoor produced more kinetic energy, had slightly less drop, but had better ballistic coefficient. So at longer ranges, past 500 yards, had a better drop than that. So what's up with the 40mm shortage? Because the NFA doesn't allow us to own destructive devices. That's what's up with the 40mm shortage. And thank Ronald Reagan for signing a machine gun ban and all that jazz. So, hey, Lever, I need a cameraman. Y'all two need to hook up and do some videos. That'd be pretty cool. Two great Southern accents on one video. Let's see. I just fell in love with gun with. Mind you, I don't like revolvers. Smith & Wesson 360 PD. Yeah, that's the one with the Scandium frame. That's the real lightweight, right? Yeah, that's a great gun. Great gun. Is my wife's 6.5 Creedmoor? It's a 6.5 Creedmoor. And I just got another 6.5 Creedmoor. I got the Bergara HMR. So that's that. So how do you like Alaskans feel about the lower 48 game migrating up? I know you posted a whitetail video, but you guys might get muleys, elk, and lions in a few years. No, we already have mountain lions. Would we weird to hear a bugle in an AK? First of all, Alaska does have elk. They're on Kodiak Island. They're on Afognak Island and a couple of other islands near southeast near Juneau. You can get drawn to hunt for elk. So Alaska does have elk. They typically don't get as big as Colorado or Wyoming or Montana, but we do have elk there. I have no problem with the elk migrating up. I want more elk here. There's plenty of habitat for them. The issue is chronic wasting disease. So right now we know there are whitetail and mule deer in units 12 and 13, and I hunt unit 13, so 12 is right on the Canadian border, and it's pretty big. And then unit 13 is the size of West Virginia, and it's right there next to it. And so that's that. If I see a whitetail, it's down, period. We have to take the whole carcass into Fish and Game, make sure it doesn't have any evidence of chronic wasting disease. And that's the issue, is chronic wasting disease. So if it's brown, it's down, like if it's a whitetail deer. And there's no closed season, same thing with mule deer. No closed season, shoot as many as you want. They do not want, because caribou are a herd animal, they do not want caribou getting that chronic wasting disease. It would literally kill hundreds of thousands of animals. And, these caribou, they run around in 40,000, in a space that big, they run around in a 40,000, animal herd or bigger. Some are smaller, 400 to 500 herds, but, they did that as well. So, all right. Uncle Dan says he agrees, Chuck, with the 6.5 Creedmoor versus 25-06. Yeah. What I'm really liking about my 25-06, though, is it's a Savage Axis. I bought it for $175 on the Black Friday special or whatever it was. And I just bought it to do videos with, possibly do a giveaway. But it's so daggum light. If it ends up being an accurate gun, then I might caribou hunt with it this year, because it's still fine for caribou. There's nothing wrong with it. If I can find a load it likes, I might put a better scope on it than the cheap Weaver that's on there. I torqued the Weaver down and made sure everything was good there and Loctited it and made sure the reticle was straight. And once I did all that, then I think the 25-06 might be my caribou gun this year, because my 7 mag just weighs 10 pounds. I carried it 3 miles this morning bear hunting with my Patreon member. So it just weighs 10 pounds with the. I'm going to take the scope off my 7 mag, the Nikon Black Force 1000, put it on the Bergara HMR, because that Nikon, the target turrets just spin. Like if you're walking in the brush and it rubs against your backpack or it rubs against the thing, it just spins. In fact, when I went to sight it in this year, it had bumped other guns in the safe, and the up and down had spun one full rotation. I was way low of the target, and I actually spun it back to zero, but that was the wrong way, and it made it even lower at 100 yards. So I spun it around the other way and back to zero. So, like, I think that scope belongs on a target gun only. So I'm going to put it on the Bergara HMR, which is, it's a 4-16. It is a second focal plane, but I actually like that better because you can just dial down the Nikon app to like 13 power, and then you can shoot like farther. I like having the different powers, different reticles, different math with the app on the Nikon app there. Sucks that Nikon is going out of business. So here's what I'm looking for the 7 mag. I'm looking for a lightweight Leupold scope in the 4 to 12, 6 to 18 range, something like that, that has a nice long range reticle, some type of mill dot or milling reticle, but has covered turrets. I don't want target turrets in the field. So that's what I'm looking for. If you guys have a suggestion, put it in the comments. I'll have to look at it right there. Let's see. I'd switch from 9 to 40 if it meant 40 millimeter. LOL. Yeah, me too. Be a good home defense weapon, especially if you didn't want homes around your home. Just kidding. Just kidding, YouTube. Don't demonetize me for that. All right. I will post my missed shot story after the chat is over. 12 feet away, shot through a bush, 8 millimeter Mauser, deflected huge meal deer. Yeah, shooting through a bush is just like, unless you have a 45-70 or a flat nose 500 Smith & Wesson in the Bighorn Armory, don't try it. That's that. My friend got shot in the mouth from a caribou hunter's bullet in 8X, smashed his teeth out after it went right through his windshield. Whoa, that's crazy. Yeah, that's awful. It sounds like he lived, but good Lord. I mean, prosthetic teeth the rest of his life. That's awful. Yep, good for hiking, super light. Yeah, that 25-06 is super light. So that's kind of the way I'm going with that. So we are Western in Texas. Dang it, Alabama and stuff is Southern. Yeah, Texas succeeded from the Union during the War of Northern Aggression. You're Southern. All right. Sorry. You don't like it? I'm sorry. That's that. If you succeeded from the Union during the War of Northern Aggression, you're Southern. Okay. So Big Al's here. Good to see you, Big Al. Anyway, Lever, you are welcome on my ranch. I hope I am too, because I want to shoot some hogs with you someday. How does it jump from elk to deer? I'm assuming you're talking about chronic wasting disease. It's already been in deer. Like there's deer in Nebraska that got it a long time ago. So, reindeer need to learn to social distance or wear a dang mask. Yeah, you're right about that. Obnoxious first. Yeah. What load are you using for your black bear hunt with your 7mm Rim Mag? Same thing I use for caribou. It likes the gun, and it's been a very accurate long-range caliber. So it's the I did a video on it. Didn't get monetized, so it didn't blow up or anything. But it's the Barnes LRX factory load Barnes 139 grain LRX. The bullet keeps its core in the pedal shed, and even did that at 459 yards. Never found the core though. It was weird. I dug through the heart and the lungs and everything. Never found the core. But it dropped a caribou at 459 yards. It'll be fine. If a big brown bear walks out, well, it's a neck shot, brainstem shot. So that's the way I see it personally. So anyway, that's the way I'm going with. Ideally, I'd probably like something like the Hornady GMX or Trophy Bonded Bear Claw, or something like that. But my gun shoots these MOA or less. Sometimes I don't do my part. It's a little bigger than MOA. My gun shoots these pretty well, and I just like what they do on impact. I do have other bullets like the Hornady ELDX Hunter, Precision Hunter. That ammunition shoots way better. I've gotten that to be one hole. And I never posted that video, but I got it to be one hole after I retorqued the stock on my 7 mag. But the LRX performs better on game. So if I hand load the LRX, I bet I could get it pretty nice. Hey, what's up, Calaveras 32 Special? Got your email, responded to it. Thanks, man. We'll get in touch, but I'm glad you're here. He has a great channel. Like, there's a lot of people in here that have great channels, so make sure you guys like go and subscribe to them. Obnoxious One, Calaveras, 32 Special, Shooting with Uncle Dan, Big Al, Leverguns 50, Darth Yogi. Do you make videos? I don't remember. I guess RTT Guns and Gear. Sounds like you probably make videos. So 67 Rebel SST AMC. Make sure you go subscribe to everybody. So make sure that everybody gets some love here. You can click. You used to be able to click on the little on YouTube. You could click on the little three things, and it would be it says go to channel. Oklahoma and Texas are their own country. Don't they wish? Don't they wish? Texas and Oklahoma, if you combine them into one state and then cut them in half, you'd still be the third largest state behind Alaska. Anyway, War of Northern Aggression can tell you are from Georgia. Dang straight. War of Northern Aggression. We didn't come and bother y'all. Y'all came down and invaded us. Anyway, that's all bygones now. But hey, I do have to say this. Slavery is awful and should never have happened, okay? Especially so-called Christians in the South. So I have to say that, okay? But what the Southerners were really fighting was states' rights and federalism. And had the Southerners won, would we be fighting a massive federal government today? That's a question for thought. So it's something to think about. Had Lee not done Pickett's charge at Gettysburg, gone and captured New York, forced England into the war, who wanted the cotton, and France on the side of the South, then could have been a different story. But he listened to Pickett's charge, and he wouldn't have listened to that. Wouldn't listen to his generals had Stonewall Jackson still been alive and not killed at Charlottesville. So anyway, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. My non-hunting related question is, what's the difference between the 6.5 PRC and the Weatherby 6.5 RPM? I don't know anything about the Weatherby. I know I've heard the term. 6.5 PRC gets about 150 to 250 feet per second more than the Creedmoor, which gets 300 to 400 feet per second more than the Grendel on average. Different loads or different things. Let's look it up. Let me look it up here. 6.5 Weatherby RPM. Let's go to sharing my screen. All right, share my screen. Let's see, WeatherbyAmmunition.com. New 6.5 Weatherby RPM rebated precision magnum. So it's going to have your case shape, shoulder shape there. It doesn't look like it's belted. Let's see. Could be. No, it doesn't look belted. Weatherby is traditionally designed and built ultra-high velocity cartridges with the unique case designs, belted magnums with the double radius shoulder. This is seen in all existing Weatherby cartridges until now. The Mark V6 lug action has been one of our best kept secrets for years. The goal of the 6.5 Weatherby RPM was initially based around maximizing the potential of this great lightweight action, setting out to produce the best backcountry rifle and cartridge combination ever. It's a project not taken on lightly. At our core, Weatherby prides itself in ballistic superiority. The rebated rim helps achieve desired velocity and energy we were looking for while remaining compatible with our 6-lug action. Let's go look at what are the cartridges. Muzzle velocity, Barnes 127 grain, 32 to 25 feet per second. So that same Barnes 127 grain LRX, I get 2815, which is the box velocity, up to about 2820 in the 6.5 Creedmoor. So you're talking, 400 feet per second more than a Creedmoor. Accubon 140, that's again 300 to 400 feet per second more than a Creedmoor. Interlock 140, yeah. So everything here, it looks like it's going to be 300 to 400 feet per second more than a Creedmoor. Just a hair over a 264 Winchester Magnum. Just a hair over a 6.5 by 284 Norma. Let's see, just a hair over, a lot over a 6.5 Creedmoor. 260 Remington. Seems way over that. So looks like it's going to be the new Magnum 6.5 caliber. I'd be real interested in it. Creedmoor's like the 308, PRC's like the 30-06, and then this is going to be like the 300 Win Mag, but all for 6.5, right? So looks cool. Hope y'all can see that. I hope it's shared the screen correctly. I'm going to stop sharing now. So that's a good question there. Glad we can figure that out. Let's see. My non-hunting related question. Okay, we just went over that. How you doing, Alaskan? I'm a basic guy for whitetail deer, 30-06 or 35 Remington. There you go. Brush gun or longer food plot gun. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, and 35 Remington's great. People use it up here, but it's pretty rare. But if you had a hard cast 35 Remington, it would do the job if you put your shot right. So there we go. Missed an elk at 7 yards with a longbow once. Okay, maybe 6 yards. How, you might ask? Well, there's a lot more cubic inches on the side of Colorado mountains that ain't elk, I reckon. Yeah, I'm terrible with a bow and arrow. I'll never hunt with one. Do okay with a crossbow, but I did that. No panel tonight. I emailed it out to people. Put it in on Instagram Messenger. Nobody got it. So that's that. Yeah, Chuck, you are always welcome down here in the west or south or southwest. All right, appreciate it, man. Okay. Let's see. I am from California. I am a third party in that. Yeah. Like, I know I'm going to catch a lot of slack and lose subscribers for this, but I'm not voting third party, but I'm writing in Rand Paul or Thomas Massey or both of them. Shooting with Uncle Dan, I might write in you. You seem like a good guy. But I just can't do a president who tells us the assault on your Second Amendment rights is over and then goes around and assaults our Second Amendment rights and accomplished more gun control than Obama. Not that he wanted to do more gun control than Obama, but there's no doubt in my mind if assault weapons ban passed the House and the Senate, Trump would sign it. Not a doubt in my mind. He'd compromise on suppressors. He'd compromise on this. So that's that. Good evening, Alaska One Andy. Good to see you. War is a huge consumer of wealth. Find a better way. Absolutely. All right. With Uncle Dan, I'm on my way. Get the pork chocks ready. All right. Sounds good. I can't eat pork, though. Darn IBS diet. So I'm going to do a video. I've got all the stuff. I'm going to do a video totally unrelated to Alaskan Ballistics. I'm going to put it on this channel so I can keep monetization numbers up. It looks good. I'm going to do a video called Top 5 Dairy-Free Cheeses. So I went and bought them all today. I bought like $100 worth of cheese, and I'm going to do stuff like that. I might start doing top 5 gluten-free breads, top 5 soy-free products, stuff like that for my diet. And I'm going to put them on the channel. I'll talk to my Patreon members and Chook and a few other people. And what's really good about that idea is that you bring it. I might bring in other people who don't think about the Second Amendment. I might bring in people that are really nasty about it, but that's why they make the YouTube delete button. But if I influence 1 or 2 people with those videos to come over per year and become a 2A supporter, worth all the money. 1 or 2 people is worth $100 of cheese, because that's 1 or 2 people that'll be along our side when the real crap hits the fan. So if Lincoln has survived, South would not have been robbed and raped by the North. It would have been better for the freed slaves in the South in general. Absolutely, because Lincoln was about forgiving the South, freeing the slaves, and that the radical Republicans, as they were called, were about punishing the South, and really had a schism right there. And yeah, it would have been better. In a lot of ways, the freed slave was worse off as a sharecropper. The election of 1877 kind of ended the whole Reconstruction thing, and then the South went into Jim Crow, and that's a nasty part of our history. When I see people who are of that age, that they lived in segregation, 70, 80-year-old in the South, of different races, they're pretty darn friendly to each other. there was the respect issue that they had back then, that they were taught no matter what color they were. And like, it's like I see people in the post office, they're 70, 80 years old. They're like, "Hi, Miss Gina May." And they're like, "Oh, hi, Miss Jones. How are you doing? How's your mom and them?" And like, you would never think that these people grew up under segregation together. Like, so as bad as it was, I think the history books are exaggerating it some. Maybe not very much. Maybe only 1%. Maybe not at all. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's something I want to say out loud, is that it was bad. But was it everything that you see on TV and reading a history book? History is written by the winners. We all know that. Looks like John Fazer is about to join. All right. Sounds like a good wolf and pronghorn caliber. Might have to give it a look. We're talking about the 6.5 Weatherby RPM, or are we talking about the 25-06? That's what we've been talking about tonight. So that's that. Let's see. Hey, brother, just don't wear an orange shirt. These hogs ain't colorblind, in my opinion. Hey, there's nothing wrong with orange. Go Vols, buddy. Go Vols. The real UT. All right, let's see. Noxious. You mean I've got to go out and buy a new shirt? Guess I'm staying home. All right. Hey, John Fazer. How's it going, man?
How you doing?
Doing good. We're about halfway through our chat. I'm glad you could join us. John Fazer lives up in Tok. He's like a real Alaskan. I'm like living here in the city. How's the weather up in Tok? Is it like, is the snow melted yet?
We still have like 1 or 2 piles left on the property.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. So, guys, subscribe to John Fazer if you haven't already. So, make sure you go subscribe, and make sure you subscribe to everybody that has a gun channel in the chat as well. All right. So, we've been talking about the War of Northern Aggression and how things would have been different if Lincoln had survived and forgiven the South, and how freed slaves would have been better off, and all that kind of stuff. And so we got on that topic. We also got on the new 6.5 Weatherby RPM Magnum. We did a little bit of that research. So, let's see. Been hunting Pennsylvania for over 20 years. Bucket list is to hunt and fishing trip in Alaska. Come on up, dude. I'll take you around. Your guide is exactly what you pay for it, but I'll take you around. It's worth exactly what you paid for it. Yeah, you got to pay for your own hotel room, but half the time you'll be camping anyway. I got a special diet. You got to eat almonds the whole time we're in the field, but no big deal. So yeah, let's talk about that for a second. When you go out in the woods, John, for like several days at a time, what do you take with you to eat?
I don't go out in the woods for several days at a time.
Not in Tok, yeah. That's that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Shooting with Uncle Dan said he was thinking about running for president. I'm behind him. I mean, I can't vote for Trump, who's against our gun rights, and I can't vote for Biden, who's against our gun rights. So I'll vote for Shooting with Uncle Dan. I think he needs to get his campaign together, though. So, let's see. I used a marlin lever and 35 Remington on hogs when I was in when I cut calculus and went to Tide Swamp west of Glenville, Florida, long ago. That 35 was the bomb in palmettos. Oh yeah, palmettos have those big thick leaves that could deflect something easily. That's for sure. Have you ever shot a 35 Remington? John, have you ever shot a 35 Remington?
No, I haven't.
It's a pretty cool lever action caliber. Right? And 4570 up here still rocks. Still the way to go. Let's see. I did that.
Yeah, I've never got myself a lever action. I really want one. I just haven't gotten around to getting one.
Yeah. Hey, I might sell you mine. I might sell you my 1895 Cowboy, the Rimlin I got. So it might be up for sale so soon. Who knows? Does that just demonetize me? Anyway, we'll make a trade off of YouTube. But whatever. Who cares about ScrewTube? let's see. I mean, California is a third party in the war of northern aggression. I always thought California was on the side of the Union. It's what the history taught me. Just spent gun money on a lawnmower. Good job, man. We need to save our ears. Cans should be free of paperwork. Absolutely. Or at least no more paperwork than a firearm is. Like, definitely. And I wouldn't even care. You know, if you buy two handguns at the same time, a dealer has to fill out a 3310 form and email it to the local police and email it to the ATF. They know you bought two guns at one time. And this was to prevent people who bought more than one gun at a time and then sold the other gun illegally in like New York or something like that. This was to track them down. And like, I would even be okay. I wouldn't be okay with it because there shouldn't be any gun laws at all. But I would like it better than the current system if you filled out a 4473 and the dealer filled out a 3310 every time you bought a can. So if there was a murder and nobody heard the gunshots, the cops could look around there or look in the person's life and who was related to him that had a can. And you know, I don't agree with it, but it's better than the current system, which the cops could still do. But you got to go get fingerprinted and get 18 months worth of background checks and stuff like that. So, I don't follow politics. What do you mean Trump went against the Second Amendment? Well, he illegally banned bump stocks. So without an act of Congress, he got the ATF to rewrite the definition of the law and change their own ruling to ban the bump stocks. Okay. And then, tried to do it with echo triggers, but they just couldn't do it as well. Then he said several things about being pro red flag laws. He's said several things about it's okay to ban silencers. We need to look at that on the table. His ATF banned certain types of ammo, went back on their word on the Franklin Armory Reformation gun and called it a rifle when it was in fact not a rifling because it did not have rifling in the barrel. So they called it a short barrel rifle, but it wasn't. And he got a lot of ATF, his ATF, a lot of the agents are trying to illegally take pictures of 4473 forms throughout the United States and create a gun registry.
Don't worry, they're changing the form now, so everything's going to be on the front page, so they don't. Yeah. So they automatically get it, and when they get their copies, they automatically get all the information of what gun goes to who now.
Yeah.
As of November, that form is in.
Yeah. So yeah, once that thing comes in November, everybody out of private sale. You know. But yeah, Trump and his people in his administration are very against the Second Amendment. And neck pop. That felt good. So make sure you call your senator. If you're not following politics right now, honestly, no offense, Darth Yogi, you seem like a nice guy, but if you're not following politics, you're not helping us. It's one of those points where you're either dead weight and we're pulling you along, or you're not. You need to be voting. You need to be protesting. You need to be sending out petitions. You need to be sending out videos about what's happening. Because until we get as loud as the left, until we show people the truth, it's only going to get worse. And, the left is so influenced by almost everything, media, schools. I work in school. I know a lot of teachers that are leftist. I was lent a book by somebody in my school because the words in the book talked about a individualistic approach to education versus a collectivist approach to education. Think about those words, individualist versus collectivist. Where does that come from? And I haven't read the book yet. I got to get onto it. But I heard a teacher we were interviewing talk about those things. And that's pretty bad. That's pretty obvious communism right there. So you need to follow politics, because if you're not, and if all you do is follow Johnny from 182nd Ideas and Jared from Guns and Gadgets and share their videos, that's a start, man. That's a start. There are 10 cases before the Supreme Court, and I told everybody Trump Supreme Court nominees wouldn't do crap. And this is the third time they bumped the 10 gun cases in front of the Supreme Court. So
yeah, I keep hearing everyone go, "Oh, we need to vote for Trump for the justices that he can put in," and every time they get a case up, they down and just down the road.
Yeah, it's
so they haven't done anything.
No, I don't think they're going to allow.
And then get the 4D chess.
Yeah, I don't think that the Supreme Court justices that he's picked are going to allow something really bad to happen. Like, I don't think Roe v. Wade would pass again under them, but like, I think they would strengthen the Heller Amendment if that had been under their thing. But I just don't think they're going to do anything. A do-nothing Congress is great. Anybody that says our Congress needs to do something, a do-nothing Congress is great. We can only ask for that, But a do-nothing Supreme Court is terrible. Let's keep going. Yeah, Trump has encouraged the bump stock ban. That was just the start of it. All right, gun question. Brian Quick. I'm falling behind here a little bit. How much do you like the Glock 29? Do you think the shorter barrel will dramatically impacts the 10 millimeters effectiveness? On Black Bear, no. On Grizzly Bear, maybe. I like the Glock 29 a lot. It's an around town carry gun, especially in the winter when there's thick clothing. And I've got the 155 grains. If you look, I have a whole series, Brian, on Glock 29 versus 20 versus 40, right? I've got several videos in that series, probably 7 or 8, and several more to shoot with that as well. And compared to the 40, the 29 can be sometimes 200-300 feet per second slower. But if you're talking about penetration is based on speed and bullet construction. Well, it still has more speed than a 40, at least a 40 with the same barrel length or even just a slightly longer barrel length. And then it has more speed than a 9 with, and generally speaking, there are some 9mm loads that are faster, but it still has the bullet construction. So it still has decent speed and the bullet construction. So, could a 5-inch or 5 1/4 inch like XDM or Glock 35 or something like that with the right bullet in a 40, like an Underwood Extreme Penetrator, outperform a Glock 29 with the same Underwood, same projectile, but in a 10mm casing? It'd come close. But you could still do it. So that being said, like even the 40 I shot with Chooks guns, the Extreme Penetrator video on the 40s, 40 Smith & Wesson I'm talking about, it went through a dinner plate and 4 water jugs. In the Glock 29, it's going to go through a dinner plate and 4 water jugs. In the Glock 40 and the Glock 20, it might go through a dinner plate and 5 water jugs or 4.5 or 4 and bounce off the pith or something like that. So that's that. So I love the Glock 29. John, have you shot a Glock 29? You're not a Glock fan, but
I'm not a Glock fan. No, I haven't. I have never. No 10mm Glocks.
Yeah. So one of these days we'll introduce you to real guns. So real man's guns. So I was tempted the other day by a Rock Island Armory because it's the only 6-inch 10mm 1911 in the town of Anchorage that I could find, and I was like, yeah, let me look at that. No, they just have too many problems. I can't do it. I can't do a video gun that I'm going to have to send back to the factory twice just for a YouTube channel. So I ended up buying the Bergara HMR instead. I got the 6.5 Creedmoor. No more debating. Got the 6.5 Creedmoor because I thought having a precision rifle during a crap hits the time fan like this pandemic type thing. Excuse me. Having the precision rifle is probably a better idea than having an extra handgun I don't need and won't have a hand for. That's the way I see it. But yeah,
dual wield.
Yeah. Glock 29. Darth Yogi Trump has implanted more gun control laws in 4 years than Obama did in 8. Banned bump stocks, failed on his promise to constitutional carry, compromised on suppressors and other stuff. Yeah, that's just scraping the tip of the
And,
iceberg.
and he was even talking about looking into banning suppressors until the backlash got to him after that one shooting.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, wait, you mean my constituents won't just let me ban everything? They're actually finally paying attention?
Trump is still a New York Democrat. I mean, he is running a huge deficit. He's anti-2A. Okay. He says he's pro-life, but has he done anything besides attend a march? No. He hasn't written legislation to send to Congress. He hasn't said, take Planned Parenthood out of the budget or I'm going to veto it. You know, he hasn't done anything like that. He is a Democrat in Republican clothing. He's a chief rhino. Okay. And my Senator, Lisa Murkowski, is next. You know, she's like rhino number 2. So is Lindsey Graham. He's like rhino number 3. So like rhino, for those of you who don't know, it stands for Republican in name only. So like, I can't say it best than this meme that was sent to me on my Facebook page. And if y'all want to send me stuff on Facebook or Instagram, I'm all about it. It's Alaskan Ballistics, both places. But the meme that was sent to me said, "You're not voting for diarrhea, so you must eat a turd." Or you're not voting for you're not voting for turd, or you're not eating turd, so you must like diarrhea. And that's kind of the thing that's going on here. That's a gross concept. But if the diarrhea is Joe Biden and the turd is Trump. Either way, you're eating crap. You're eating feces, you're eating dung, you're eating, bovine excrement, whatever you want to call it, right? And that's that. So until we, as the people, we're the problem, not the politicians. Okay, we have got to change our ways and not put the same people in office. All right. We thought we were doing that with Trump, or a lot of people did. I didn't. I knew better. I'd seen which way he played politics his entire life as a businessman. But we thought we would do something. Until we do something different, nothing is going to be done. So, and I literally at the last election stood in line, and for 20 minutes, I stood in the voting booth deciding between Gary Johnson and Trump. And I eventually did Trump because my little heart wouldn't allow me to vote for someone who was not pro-life. But it was hard. I was advocating for Gary Johnson on Facebook and stuff like that. But now I don't like the Libertarian candidate either. So he's pretty much a liberal. I'm saying I'm writing in Rand Paul. I'm writing in Rand Paul. And, everybody can say that's a waste of vote, but a waste of vote is voting for somebody who betrays your Second Amendment rights. That's a wasted vote. What do you think, John?
They're all so horrible. I still think that Trump ran originally because he's always been friends with Hillary. I think he ran to try to make her look better, but she was so toxic that people would rather vote for him. Like, he ran as a joke to make her look better, to get her elected, because they've always been friends. I mean, Trump is not. Again, I grew up in New York. I know Trump is a businessman. New Yorkers hated him because he was such a jackass. He's not even a good businessman. If he actually just took the money he inherited from his dad and invested and put it in a savings account, he'd have more money now than he did after all of his businesses. He's had so many businesses go bankrupt. He is just pure garbage. He's not a Republican. He's not a conservative. No. Again, I'm not even that. I'm liberal as they come with most things.
Right.
But he's just horrible on every front. Everything he did promise that got him elected, he hasn't done.
No. And I'm all about securing the border. That hasn't happened. I'm all about, reducing the deficit. That hasn't happened. It's grown. Yeah. The deficit right now is larger than Obama. Go look it up. There is not a deficit that Obama had that is larger than today's deficit. Okay, so I need to get to some more questions here. Let's see. Okay, Shooting with Uncle Dan says, going back to the War of Northern Aggression. Come on, Uncle Dan. You know better than to call it the Civil War. That's what the winners call it. All right. Between the Trail of Tears, War of Northern Aggression, Texas Revolution, it is a wonder I am here. During the War of Northern Aggression, my family did not have slaves nor believe in it, yet we almost what? Became extinct. Okay, almost became extinct. I meant the 6.5 Weatherby RPM works on wolves and pronghorns. Would be a good blacktail and lion killer for sure. You put a 140 grain nozzle partition in there, you could take any game in North America. Tipped CSX, Barnes LRX. You could take anything in North America. So I'm sure it was really bad for some, not so much for others, but I don't think the majority of people hold on to it as much as MSN and politicians want to believe. Yeah, probably. What's not more powerful, 9mm or 44 mag? 44 mag. It's not even close. Good question though. It looks like Ian Lundquist. Good question. So guns are measured in foot-pounds of energy. It's kind of a meaningless number because penetration to the vitals and destructive path of the bullet is what really matters. 9mm, your max load is going to max out at about 500 foot-pounds of energy. 44 Magnum, max load is going to max out at about 1,500 foot-pounds of energy out of a 6-inch barrel. So that's that. Darth Yogi wants to know who needs a bump stock. It's not about that. They were fun. It's not about need. It's about the ability for the president to ban something without Congress making a law. That's the issue. Bump stocks are stupid. Okay, they're fun. You can't hit crap with them. One crime may have been committed with them. We don't know that for a fact. Probably was, but we don't know it for a fact. And, you know, the president goes around the constitutional process and gets the ATF to lie and say that they are more than one shot per trigger pull.
Yeah, it's changing definitions of things.
Yeah. So, I mean, once Trump did that, he opened the ATF up for legal precedent to do it again and again and again. Now, Kavanaugh did warn them when they turned down the legislation, or they turned down the case. They didn't think it was the right case for the Supreme Court. I think the Supreme Court wants to see somebody who actually went to jail appeal his way up. Whereas the case that MAC and a lot of Firearms Policy Coalition and the Second Amendment Foundation and Gun Owners of America were all involved in, they had a case pre-suing, the law, trying to preempt the law, and the Supreme Court didn't want to. Imagine that the Supreme Court didn't want to hear it. So that's that. But snow, hell, it was 104 in Sacramento today. Yep. Now I got a super chat somewhere. I saw it pop up, but I didn't see who sent it.
It's One Shot.
One Shot. Hey, oh yeah, One Shot has an awesome channel, guys. Have you tried the Federal Punch yet? I haven't seen it in stores. In Alaska, we have to buy our ammo in the store, so I haven't seen it in stores. Ammo to get to the store has to be put on an importer or exporter in Washington State or Montana, and it has to be, or Oregon, it has to be exported on a barge up here. There might be some laws where they allow trucks to drive it through Canada. I don't think that's the case unless it's military. But so to get it here, I have to do that. If something has to be ordered online, I'll have to pick it up when I visit friends in the lower 48, put it in a little lockbox in my suitcase, and then come back, So that's that. Looks like Shooting with Uncle Dan. He's leaving, so good night, man. And have you tried Federal Punch yet? So no, I haven't. If I see it, I'll get it. Have you tried it on your channel, One Shot? Because you have a great channel. One Shot, he has a really, really great channel. He does some ballistics testing, some gun reviews, some AK versus AR mud testing. So that's that, guys. So go check out One Shot. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. So it looks like I need to scroll back up here because I am way here. Let's see. I'm way behind. Let's see, Brownies for My Fat has joined. He's usually the first person in here. And I'm way behind in the chat. Okay, last I saw it was 104 here today. I think it got up to 65 here in Anchorage today. What's the weather like in Tok?
A little chilly today. I was actually up in Anchorage yesterday. It was pretty cold, chilly in Anchorage yesterday.
Yeah, we were bear hunting.
I think it's
2 nights ago, Sunday night. We were bear hunting, and it was it was down to, it was in the 40s and raining on us. It was miserable. We
Yeah.
used
The
our
last
raft across a lake and, got rained on and stuff like that. It was bad. I mean, no bears came out too.
yeah,
So.
I think the last 2 days here it's been raining and about a high of like 46.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go. Do you have a guide and pack in out? Do you have to have a guide and pack in out? So if you are a non-resident of Alaska, to hunt grizzly bear, Dall sheep, mountain goats, possibly wolves. I don't remember wolves. Muskox and buffalo. I don't think you can hunt as a non-resident. Maybe muskox, but for those three species, you have to have a guide or go with an immediate family member. And it's got to be like your brother, sister, like first cousin, no. Brother, sister, I think aunt, uncle, or mom and dad. You have to go with a guide or have that relative according to the resident. Now, regulations, if you want to hunt moose, caribou, white-tailed deer, black-tailed deer, you want to hunt coyotes, grouse, or what ducks here, no, you don't have to have a guide. But guides start at like $12,000 a trip. So good luck. There is, for those of you that have a channel, there is where I caribou hunt, there is a non-resident tag you guys can apply for. There's only 50 of them to get drawn. I had, Eric and Ray from Iraq Veteran 88. I know Ray personally, so he was saying he would get drawn for it. And they put in for it, but like they didn't get drawn. So that was that. Oh man, I just let out a big fart. You guys can't smell it, but all right. Hope you couldn't hear that. All right, that was a bad one. Back in Vietnam, when it was realized what wasting ammo is. Yeah. Let's see. Me peanut butter crackers or whatever. Oh, let's see. Walmart has the best price on almonds other than nuts and other nuts. Yeah, there's a good deal at Walmart. I have to be real careful about what they're cooked in. Brownish for my fat. Sorry, I'm late. Let's see. Believe non-residents can hunt moose down to wolf without a guide. Not sure about Dall sheep. Although for grizzly brown bear, you need to get that guide. Yeah, sheep, brown bear, and guide. I think goats. I think mountain goats. You need a guide. I fill up every 4473. Yeah, I do. Used to be 5, now only 4. Yeah. Yeah, buy several guns at a time before they do that. Yeah. Let's see. Got a Marine 336 3030 and a Golden Boy 357, and it's heavy as hell. Yeah, those are good guns, though. They're fun. I mean, lever actions can be heavy. So, red flag laws at White Papers, Turk, ATF's Fast and Furious guy that refused to testify before Congress. It just mentioned a lot about what Trump's ATF is doing. He hasn't drained a swamp at all. Wonder if you have to move from California as competition shooter if you can't get a CZ Shadow 2. I would. Stalker Steve, what's up, man? It's good to see you. Yes, Stalker Steve, you can have a question. Calaveras 32 Special, I have to bail. Later, everyone. Good to see you. Let's see. I'm way behind here. Yep. Upon request, the ATF can get permission to. What is FLG? FGLs. FGLs. Federal gun licenses. Give permission to put a 44373 on Google computer program. This is a registry. Yeah. Mario Mosen, what's up, man? How was the bear trip? Did anybody kill a baby bear? No, I almost did. I missed it. Let's see. Chuk almost did too, but he scared it away. Who are we supposed to vote for? I'm writing in Rand Paul. He's always been pretty solid, but even though he's been in that forever, call it his ministry, he's acting like a demigod. All right, it's past time to quit calling and voting and start kicking ass. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, excuse my language there, but yeah. Let's see. Stalker Steve, non-anti-gun Trump or racist Biden. Yeah, that's who you're not supposed to vote for them. So let's see. We need help with our beef producers and beef eaters. Cut out corp packers laws. Okay, I'm not sure what that's all about. You want to talk about it more, Dan O'Neill? Type a long comment, and we'll try to get it together there. Soccer Steve, that's the problem. We don't really have anyone all that good to vote for. People want adherence to the Constitution, don't deal with how dirty politics are. Yeah, see, that's the problem is, like, I can't name an election during my lifetime where we had a good candidate. And people would have said Reagan, because Reagan would have been 4 or 5 when he got reelected. But Reagan signed the Hughes Amendment. You know?
Yeah, it's more or less now we don't vote for people, we vote against people.
And that's the problem. Like, until I was really hoping Rand Paul would run against Trump in the Republican primary. Absolutely hoping he would run against Trump. That would have been awesome to see. And I emailed him. I told him I wanted him to do it. I told him I'd vote for him. Told him I'd do YouTube videos on why I do it. He didn't do it. All right. Same thing with what's his name, Thomas Massey. Both of them from Kentucky too, which is good. So I only teach my friends about gun laws and safety, and since I'm not born but naturalized citizens, I don't believe I fall in the same bracket as you guys. Yeah, you do. The difference between you and me is I can run for president and you can't. That's it. I don't want to, so no big deal. But that's like the difference between you and me. That's the only privilege of a citizen that was born here versus naturalized. I think that there is, right? Like the only privilege is a born citizen here can run for president versus a naturalized.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
That's the only difference. But you have every other right. And Darth Yogi, I want people to know this. I want to say this out loud. Your constitutional rights, they are not given to you by the government of the United States. And I hope everybody knows that. Like, your constitutional rights are given to you by the creator of the universe. Now, whether you believe that was dark matter and a Big Bang, which is not the real Big Bang Theory, but, whatever. Or you believe that was the God of the Bible or Allah or whoever you believe that is, okay? If you thought that was some jack-in-a-box, whoever you thought the creator of the universe is, they are your universal human rights. The people in Europe, the people in Asia, people in China, they have a Second Amendment right. Their government punishes them for recognizing it. Okay? Government's only job should be to protect freedom. Okay? So you have every right that I have, that somebody in Germany has, that somebody in Zimbabwe has, that somebody in Brazil has, that somebody in the Congo has, that somebody in China has. We all have the same human rights. Okay? Freedom of religion, freedom of the press, freedom of choice, freedom of protest, freedom not to be surveyed by the government. Our Constitution recognizes those rights. Their government does not. Our government's beginning not to recognize those rights.
Yeah. Our Bill of Rights isn't saying what we have the right to. It's saying what the government's not allowed to mess with.
Absolutely.
And actually, I think it was Larry Sharp, who's one of the libertarians, has the best way of referring to government, I think, is that government should act like firefighters. If there's a fire, put out the fire. If there's no fire, give safety lessons.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't be involved. Just
yeah.
If there's a fire involved, no fire, just sit there.
Yeah. The government shouldn't even put out the fire. They should help the people put out the fire. Because when government tries to put out the fire, it's probably worse than the fire.
Yeah. Let's see if gasoline puts it out. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try something else flammable. Nope, that didn't work.
Let's put gunpowder on that fire. That's. Yeah. We have a mounting
again with oil well fires. That's actually the way they do them, but
yeah, sometimes they do blow up.
Low dynamite into the oil well fire to put them out.
Hey Brian, quick check out Chuck's 4 barrel length videos. Yeah, I got 4 barrel lengths on 10 millimeters. That's that. Underwood 9. Yeah. As soon as I can find some Underwood jacketed hollow points. Yeah, there's some Underwood 9. I've done Underwood extreme penetrators, and it'll go right through a grizzly bear skull, I believe, but we'll see. Let's see. Vanessa Kitty, hi. Jerry Parker, Glock 21. Great gun. Got one. Shoots 40. I carried it this morning in bear country. Shoots 45 swooper. If we are splitting the vote or at least swaying a few votes, don't you think we should have an alternative to suggest? because if the Dems win, we are truly screwed. Yes or no? Okay, so here's my opinion on that. If we get a Democratic president, because we split the vote, but keep a good Republican Senate and win or get a better minority or get closer to the majority in the House, then we'll have a do-nothing administration. All right? And it'll be like the last 6 years of Obama, and nothing gets done by the Democrats. If we show Trump that he's not a Republican and we can't vote for him, that sends the Republican a message. That's what happened to Bob Dole, and that's when Newt Gingrich got serious about the budget and we had a budget surplus. Okay, Newt Gingrich was probably the last decent Republican, as far as budget items are concerned, that had the power to do it. That's that. So, yeah, splitting the vote is a bad thing. It really is. But a worse thing is voting for splitting the vote between two bad candidates. Well, worst thing is electing a bad candidate to not get a worse one. I mean, that's the problem. We are voting against people and not for things. I'm voting against Hillary. I'm voting against Biden, but I'm still voting against Biden if I write in Rand Paul. That's not a vote for Biden. Okay. If 5, 10, 15% of the people did that, would Biden win? Absolutely. Math is math. Okay. Those 5, 10, 15% of the people that stood up and made a difference are also going to vote for the Congressional House of Representatives and vote for the Senate. And those 5, 10, 15% of the people that did that are going to force a do-nothing administration, investigations into Biden's corruption and all that stuff, maybe even impeach him. So is what it is. So, like, you can't have it both ways. Either you are voting for two bad candidates, or you've got to turn around and vote for a good candidate. It's that simple. And if that means splitting the vote the first time we do it, or even the second time we do it, fine with me. And here's the thing. If we don't do it now, Trump will be the last Republican in name only. I'm not going to call him Republican. Trump will be the last Republican in name only candidate we have. Because the mathematic numbers between population growth, legal immigration, the mathematic numbers make it impossible for us to elect another Republican president unless we change a whole bunch of minds. Unless we get people out of their demographic voting that, people so like to say isn't true, but it is. Some people vote in demographic groups a lot, okay? So 82% of African American vote, even during Romney's campaign, even during Trump's campaign, even during the next, it all went to Democrats. So hopefully, I know a lot of people are starting to see, but people are still, who don't want to vote for Biden, they're still too liberal for Trump, and Trump's a liberal. I mean, Trump is a liberal. Trump would be a 1980s Democrat, So it is what it is. So, yeah. Are we truly? Go ahead, John.
Unfortunately, the way I see it and the way it's been in my life, I'd almost rather have the president and the House and Congress as different parties, because then nothing gets done.
Exactly.
Because all their ideas are horrible. No one does anything to help. I mean, the Republicans are always like, yeah, we're going to help business, and they never really do. And the liberal and Democrats are like, we're going to go for these liberal, help these people out, and they never really do. So I'd rather just have them fight each other and not actually do anything.
Absolutely. I mean, do nothing.
I'd rather be complete. Do nothing. That's actually what I want from my government, is do nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they can sit there and yell at each other across the borders, and the Republicans only vote for gun rights when there's a Democrat in charge.
Right.
If there's a Republican in charge, they go, we want bump stocks, we want this. They go, okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd rather them all do nothing.
The balanced budget amendment got passed the House with what's her name, Michelle Bachmann or whatever. And the balanced budget amendment passed the House something like 10 or 15 or even 20 times when Obama was president. As soon as Trump got elected and we had the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the presidency, they did not even touch the balanced budget amendment. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Okay. nothing is more important to saving our country right now than a balanced budget amendment. Okay, and then Second Amendment gun rights. Those are the two biggest things. That if you want your kids, if I want my kid that's born in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, if I want that kid to grow up in a free America, those two things have to be taken care of, and they're not. So now here's a video idea I've had for you guys. I want to get your ideas in the comment section here. So we might go really long tonight, but I was thinking about a proposed 28th Amendment, and it'll be what government can and cannot do during a pandemic. All right. And so I would say government can quarantine known sick people in a hospital. Government can shut down government services so long as they provide a tax break those services cost. Okay. Government can track the movement of people who have the virus. Okay. Who are known to have the virus to keep it from spreading. Government cannot take away your freedom of speech, take away your right to peacefully assemble, take away your right to acquire or own weapons under the Second Amendment, take away your right to freedom of religion. Government cannot charge more in taxes to fight the pandemic at the time. Government cannot, so anything y'all think would be good in that 28th Amendment video, I'm going to put it up. I'm going to put a big thumbnail and make a video. I've been thinking about doing that video for a few weeks. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Okay, I am way behind in the chat here. Brick or Glock? Always Glock. Glock way better. Hey, Big Al. Let's see. Used to be a Brian Quick that was a guy in Colorado. Is that you, Brian? Let's see. Great chat the other night. Yeah. Nope, never been to Colorado. Another Brian Quick. Let's see. Okay, let's see. He just screwed Planned Parenthood. I hope so. Let's talk show. Well, honestly, even though I'd never vote that way, if a Democrat gets in, the Republicans might suddenly become pro 2A and stop any gun laws from coming in. Yeah, they do it with a law. All right. See what? I know you left like 20 minutes ago. Let's see. Tom Tills, Richard Burr. Y'all guys need to look those up and know your history. All right. Not much to choose from in the political arena. He is making them split abortion and regular health care. Are you meaning that Trump is making them split abortion? I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen Trump pass abortion bill, anti-abortion bill yet. I'm very pro-life. That thing is alive inside a woman. I felt it the other night. So there's no way you can't say it's not alive. You can say it's not alive on its own, but that's another story. But it makes every biological definition of life we have. Killing it is like killing something out of the womb. In my opinion. Let's see. Careful about the slime balls creeper, and they're already warming up. Yeah. So we're running out of candidates. Yeah, we have been since JFK. JFK, I was told, is pretty pro 2A, believe it or not. A wasted vote is the 100 million who never vote. Maybe. So many people vote that are low information voters that if there are 100 million people who don't vote and they're low information, that's one thing. A wasted vote are all the pro 2A people who don't vote. So like Darth Yogi said tonight, doesn't follow politics. If you're pro 2A and you're for guns and you're not voting, you're not doing your job as a United States citizen. It's that simple. Here's what it is. Vote for Trump and set him straight. Nope. Voting for Trump is like voting for a New York Democrat. That's not going to happen, Stalker Steve. That's crazy. Let's see. Love you, Stalker Steve. You have a great channel, but that's crazy. All right. Trump hasn't set anybody straight. He's got a worse budget than Obama right now. He's passed more gun control than Obama. You think the deficit is bad now? Wait till all this pandemic relief funds is dispersed. God forbid. Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Congress made laws so general in scope where they leave it to the executive branch to write the regulation and administrative rules rather than writing the laws themselves. If the bunk style plan would have went to Congress, a whole bunch of stuff would have been added on. Probably, but Trump doing it around the Constitution illegally, that's an impeachable offense. He should have been impeached for that right there. Okay? He lied to the American people. He made the ATF lie to the American people. Trump should have been impeached for the bump stock ban by ordering the ATF but to break the law. Period. Okay? That's an impeachable offense. He ordered the ATF to break the law. Okay? And to bounce something. So, yes, you're right. If the bump stock ban would have went to Congress, a whole bunch of stuff would have been added on, and that would have made it go into do-nothing mode. More than likely, 30-round magazines, flash suppressors, all that stuff would have got it into do-nothing mode. So, sorry, I'm getting there. Yeah, executive branch legislating by fiat, absolutely. That's that. So, yeah, Stalker Steve, you're a good guy. I'm not picking on you tonight. I want you to know you're a good guy, but thanks for being there. Maybe so. That's exactly what I said. There are reps in Congress that would shut it down, even though all gun laws are infringements. It's not about that. It's about government overreach. Dad gave him $500 million upon graduation from Harvard. He lost that in a New York minute. More cash from dad, and told him where to put the cash. Till his dad and bro had to bail him out. Wow. Yeah. Colgate. Let's not talk about it. Colgate, Oklahoma was 97 and rained all day. That sucks. That's hot and muggy. Good for the gardens. Hopefully. Would you ever have Trump's hand on your shoulder or Hillary's? Neither. That's the whole point of this discussion. I wouldn't rather have either one of them, and we're going to keep having crap candidates like that until we do something about it.
And that's the only thing for voting third party, because let's be honest, third party has no chance of winning.
No.
But if third party got 15% of the vote, and that was 15% that the Republicans didn't get, maybe they'd go, oh man, we need to put out better candidates.
Yeah. And even if they didn't, even if they didn't put out better candidates, 5% of the vote gets the Libertarian put in the next debate.
Yeah.
They got to get 5% of the vote nationally.
And then it's not I disagree with this guy. It's like I actually have to have a plan.
Correct. Okay. If like Gary Johnson, he got 5% of the vote in many, many states, 6% in some. And it just didn't happen nationally because people didn't want to stray from their party, and I did the same thing, and I'm sorry. But that's that. All right. I wonder what's considered cold for someone that lives in Alaska. In Georgia, I get cold when it gets around freezing. Okay, so Brian Quick, I'm from Jonesboro, Georgia. All right. 30 is t-shirt weather. John Fazer replied back to him in the next one. I'm from Georgia. Let me say this. In my part of Alaska and Anchorage, the humidity is nowhere near like it is in Georgia. We are surrounded by the ocean, but we're also surrounded by mountains that kind of block out the ocean air. And much of the interior of Alaska is the same way. So in the winter in Georgia at 40 degrees, I'm bundled up in a heavy winter coat. And if I'm out in the deer stand in Georgia, I've got coveralls on and I'm bundled up real big. Okay. I wear the same amount of clothing at 20 degrees in Alaska as I would at 40 degrees in Georgia. If I'm out in Alaska moving and going about, I wear a whole lot less clothing than I would in Georgia moving and going about. The humidity makes that big of a difference. The dew point, the chill, the wind chill, all that kind of stuff. And in Anchorage, there's greater wind in Georgia than there is in Anchorage, generally speaking. Not always. Now, if you climb on top of a mountain, before I met Courtney, climbed this mountain with the girl on Valentine's Day. We got up there to cook a dinner, a little camp stove dinner. It was 32 degrees, and the wind was 70 miles an hour. We went straight back down the mountain. Didn't cook at all. But, that's that. So, let's see. We don't have enough votes in Congress. No. You're right there. You're right there, Sucker Steve. Is your six covered? How's it going, man? Sorry if you've already left. We're way behind on the comments. Thanks. Nope, I haven't seen it either. I get asked about it a lot, though. Thought it'd be a good one to collab when it's available. If I see it, one shot, we will do a collab. I'll do a pork shoulder test. You do a ballistics gel test. And I know you got a Glock 19 and a 17 or something like that, or a 43. I got a 43, a Glock 19, a Beretta APX, 43X, and a Smith & Wesson 2.0 5-inch. If we see it in 9mm, if we see it in 40, I can do it in 40, 45, 10 mil, whatever. But yeah, that Federal Punch stuff, it's kind of like a cheaper HST. So, John, have you seen the Federal Punch stuff yet? And I'm in Toke.
No, but I don't buy a lot of ammo. Load most of mine.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Federal will make that Punch bullet available because it's not their premium HST bullet. Hoping they'll make the Punch bullet version of it available for hand loaders. Let's see. We need another Theodore Roosevelt. I'm pretty sure he was a pretty progressive. Go back and look, my friend. He wouldn't be a liberal today, but there were a lot of things he did that were very progressive at the time. So that's that. Ross Perot. Ross Perot split the Republican Party, and that's how Bill Clinton got elected. And the Republican Party learned from that. And even though Bob Dole was a horrible candidate the next election cycle, the Republican Congress got it together and balanced the budget, had a government surplus instead of a deficit, and made Bill Clinton look very good after getting impeached himself. So Ross Perot should teach us two lessons. One, splitting the party is bad. Two, splitting the party can be good in the long run. Splitting the party can be good. So, is what it is. Most qualified and best people do not run for high political office because of the nastiness involved. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Oh, wow. Yep, I'm going there. YouTube will demonetize me if I talk about that. Let's see. That can't throw you out of the country. They throw my... Okay, I'm, again, not sure exactly. Darth Yogi, if you're a U.S. citizen, they can't just throw you out of the country. Inalienable rights. Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, well, I'm way behind. But inalienable rights, yeah. They should govern and not rule. Yeah, there's a big difference. My science-given rights. I'm an atheist. Yeah. Okay, you believe in the Big Bang Theory, but whatever you believe created the universe made you a right. The rights are endowed by your creator. So we can talk about atheist versus creationism a long time, but that's not the point of tonight's talk. The point of tonight's talk is these rights are given to you endowed by your creator, as the Declaration of Independence says. You believe that creator is a ball of pre-matter squeezed this big and exploded? Okay, and then spent, billions upon billions upon billions of tens of billions of chances to develop life afterwards. Okay, that's a great theory. I think it has to have as much faith as creationism in the long run. But the point of it is you have unalienable rights, not because the government says you do. You have inalienable rights because you were created a human being. What you believe created it, that's another discussion. I didn't mean to get into it too much. Alaskan Dabbers, I'm good to see you on the channel and appreciate the comment there. Keep believing a friend of mine spent 6 months in ICE jail, yet he'd been a citizen for over 10 years. Need more context on that before I comment. Biden will keel over at the last minute. Hillary step in. Stalker Steve, you might have a good point. I've been picking on you tonight. That's your best comment of the night. That's a good point. Have you considered a libertarian vote? If they'll put up a good candidate. I would have really liked to seen Rand Paul and Gary Johnson run on the libertarian ticket. I thought that would have been an extremely good ticket to run on. And that would have shown Trump that true conservatives would have voted for him. True conservatives would have voted for Rand Paul. And Rand Paul, before Trump got in the election, Rand Paul actually was beating Hillary in all the swing states. Because Rand Paul was very good about branching out to the other ones. He'd go speak to the to the other side. He'd go speak to the NAACP. I talk about what they had in common, not what they had different. He'd go speak to Democrats all the time and say, this is what we have in common, not different. And he was very good about that, but he's also standing up for inalienable rights, property rights, but balanced budget, gun rights, freedom of speech. He stands up for all that stuff, and he's an eye surgeon. He'd go out and do eye surgery pro bono during his campaign. So I would love to see Rand Paul run at the top of the Libertarian ticket, even if it splits the party. All right. Yeah, I would consider myself a pro-life libertarian. That's where I would consider myself at. Government is only good at doing two things: killing people and taking your money. Pretty much. Yeah. I vote libertarian as much as I can. Got to run. Thanks, Dr. Steve. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for letting me pick on you tonight. Good job, man. He has a great channel. Go check him out. Make sure you subscribe. Let's see. Absolutely sounds like a great amendment. Oh, there's a virus. Quick, let's burn the U.S. Constitution. Cool. So I was talking about the 28th Amendment a while ago about what the government can and cannot do in the 28th Amendment. Please, if you have any ideas on that, send them to me on Facebook, Instagram. But basically, I'm going to say this again for the people that didn't see it, is I've been thinking about making a video called What We Need in the 28th Amendment. And that video would basically state that during a pandemic, the government can quarantine sick people, shut down government services so long as it does a tax refund for those services. All right. And the government can track the movement of sick people to stop the spread of disease. The government can move around funds to fight and research the disease. The government cannot take away your freedoms, take away your freedom of speech, spy on people that are not infected, tell people they can't move around if they are not infected. The government can make recommendations to wear a mask, wash your hands, all that stuff. And I wear a mask in public. I know a lot of people think wearing the mask is stupid, and it is. But I wear a mask in public because if there's a 1% chance that my baby doesn't get that and my wife doesn't get it, then I'm going to wear that mask for that 1% chance, because I don't want to be quarantined away from my newborn child in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, or tomorrow, whenever it's born. So that's what I'm talking about on the 28th Amendment. I want to write a script and kind of script that one out when I make that one. So you guys tell me what you think. So that's that. All import bans on older guns, including full auto, have to be lifted. So much history is being destroyed around the world as governments won't pay to store things we can't import. Yeah. All right. Don't see Trump fighting that one. I'd rather be quarantined at my house.
The NFA just needs to go away.
Go ahead, John.
They said the NFA just needs to go away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the.
It was made to stop mobsters, and nowadays the government supplies guns to the criminals anyway. So,
right.
It's not keeping them from getting these weapons.
Right. Exactly. We'd be quarantined at my house than in a hospital, because they might just kill you while you're there. Good point. Good point. The government can quarantine sick people under my amendment. Quarantining healthy people is tyranny. Quarantining sick people is medicine. Duh. All right. Supreme Court kicked 10 2K cases down again. Yeah, we were talking about that. Even Trump's nominees, that's why we got to vote for Trump, so we can take over the Supreme Court. And they done nothing. And Kavanaugh has huge Fourth Amendment issues. He'll come take your guns under red flag laws. Maybe not him, but he'll send somebody to. Never going to 50. You're more correct than people might give you credit for. Medical error deaths are about 90K a year. Yeah. Yeah. My biggest fear is that my wife goes into pregnancy and something happens to her. That's my biggest fear right now. That's that. Everybody should, yes, Chase, absolutely. Everybody should join as many gun right organizations as they can. Yep, I supported the Second Amendment Foundation the other day with a one-time donation. I'm going to try to do more as I can as the Patreon comes up. And guys, YouTube, I've emailed them about several videos about why they're being demonetized, and so I'm on their hit list. So my Patreon needs to go up if you guys want to keep seeing the channel grow. I know I don't do that much, but man, I bought $250 for the ammo today, and all I bought for the channel, and all I bought was this 25-06 I showed you guys earlier at the beginning. 6.5 Creedmoor. We bought 45 ACP. We also bought the 255 grain. My Patreon member bought it. The 460 Roland, and I bought the 45 Super yesterday. So, and then I bought both 10 millimeter and 44 Magnum. Dangerous Game to do a 10 millimeter versus 44 Magnum out of the short barrels. So I really like this Dangerous Game out of my Glock 29. So, I mean, guys, that's $250 worth of ammo. Plus, I bought some 41 Magnum because my Patreon member who went with me to the ammo store today, he has a 41 Magnum, and you'll see that video in a couple weeks. But he has a 10-inch Thompson Contender single shot. That 10-inch barrel in a 41 Magnum. That thing is flying. I think we had a 210 grain bullet was averaging 1860. You'll guys see in the video an 1860 on a 210 grain bullet. And what he's going to do is he's going to get a pistol brace for it, and a folding pistol brace, and that's going to be like a gun on the side of his pack that if he's out hiking in a place that he can legally hunt, he sees a bear or a deer or something, or a coyote or something he can take legally, he's got a 41 Magnum with a 10-inch barrel, and it's good out to 125, 150 yards easily. So that's that. So what do you think about the 41 Magnum, John?
I'm a big fan of most Magnums.
Yeah, you can do that. Brass card, 7.
Magnums are good.
Yeah. Yep, won't vote for Trump. Me neither. One thing you're missing in Trump, he kept the Supreme Court conservative and pro-2A. He was also appointed a shitload of right-wing federal judges that are pro-2A. But what has the Supreme Court done? That's the whole point. They've kicked 10 2A courses down the road 3 times. Yeah, the courts don't actually help us. I mean, so now there is that guy in California that keeps banning California's things, and then California goes and appeals to the Ninth Circuit. I don't know his name, but that's that. A vote for Biden is a vote for assault weapons ban. Yeah. Okay. So a vote for Trump might be a vote for assault weapons ban. I have no doubt he would sign it. John, do you have any doubt that Trump would sign an assault weapons ban?
Not one, especially since this last term, if he got elected. He like this when he still has to be reelected. Once there's no of him being reelected again, he'll do what he wants. And he's already shown what he wants. He doesn't want people to have guns.
Pro-gun is not the same as pro-2A. It should be. It should be. But the way some candidates call themselves pro-gun, you are right. It is not. But it should be. All right, Scott Leeper's got it. Judge Benitez in San Diego is a federal judge, pro-2A. One judge on the Ninth Circuit is an NRA member. Well, NRA is not necessarily pro-2IRA. I mean, they betrayed the 2A too much, but maybe he's better much. James, good question. I heard the crime rate in Anchorage is higher than anywhere in the lower 48. Is that accurate? Probably not anywhere, but it is high. Most of the crime is drug-related or domestic violence. Muggings on the street are not that bad. This is the worst town I've ever lived in for car break-ins. And, Courtney started carrying after she walked the dogs at University Lake, and someone broke into her truck 100 feet away from her. She was washing the dogs off or drying them off in the grass across the parking lot, and someone came in and drove up, and she screamed at them and everything. They got her good waders that she had for years, good neoprene waders she had for years. I had to replace them with some cheap Cabela's waders that may not work this year. Of course, she's pregnant. She's not going anywhere. She wants to go set netting even though she's pregnant. I'm like, that's probably not a good idea. Does he want us to have machine guns? Nope, which means he's not pro-2A. What are your thoughts on the 357 SIG? John, I'll let you go first.
I don't like the price of the ammo. I like fast handgun cartridges, high capacity, high speed cartridges. Definitely carry a 350 over 9mm.
Yeah. I like the 357 SIG. I did an Extreme Penetrators video on it, Sean, and Extreme Penetrator and Extreme Defender video on it. And even out of the Glock 32, it was getting 100 feet per second more than the box with the Underwood ammo, and it was just flying. And that Glock 32 really was great, and that's the mid size. It's not even the full size 31, right? So it was flying. It did great. I am filming a 9 versus 40 versus 357 SIG. I've already filmed it. My Patreon members have already seen it, but it's with the Liberty Defense ammo, that real lightweight stuff. I have it laying around here somewhere, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, so this stuff here, somebody donated this to a channel, a local business did, and I'm not a big fan, but it was kind of a cool bullet. It's that extremely lightweight, and it's like a 60 grain going 2,000 feet per second in a 40. And I filmed 9 versus 40 versus 357 SIG versus 45 versus 10, all in short barrels in this. So something to think about. That'd be a good, and those are the only 2 videos I've done. And that one comes out, I think, next week or the week after. I don't remember when that one comes out. So there's that. Anyone see the special order from the Chief Justice of the Alaskan Supreme Court that came out today? I did not. Do you know anything about that, John?
No, I haven't really been watching a whole lot of news today.
Let's look that up. I'm going to share screen. All right, let's go to Google. We're looking up the Weatherby 6.5 Weatherby RPM easily. www.google.com. All right. Special order of Alaska Supreme Court Justice, Chief Justice, right? All right, let's look this up. It looks like it came out, there's one on March 19th. Don't see one from today. What is the one on March 19th? In response to COVID-19 pandemic, under the authority of the Supreme Court order, it is ordered all Superior and Court district proceedings are suspended through April 3rd. Okay. Except the following priority hearings, arraignments, felony first appearances, bail hearings, change of plea and sentencing hearings, adjudication, disposition, petitions to revoke probation, habeas corpus applications, SENA, temporary custody and permanency hearings, and SENA hearings, drug and alcohol pregnancy, domestic violence, mental health evaluation, juvenile delinquency, quarantine and isolation proceedings, search warrant and arrest warrant proceedings, temporary guardianship and conservative proceedings. What other proceedings are there? That's a large list of exceptions. Basically, if it's a misdemeanor charge, don't hear it, right? I mean, guess that's a lot of stuff. Active district court judges throughout the state are appointed to serve pro tempore as superior court judges for all the foregoing proceedings except for sentencing proceedings in Class A. So it looks like district court judges were promoted to serve as superior court judges, or vice versa, promoted or demoted. Judges should not begin any new jury trials in criminal and civil cases through April 3rd. That's a violation of the Constitution right there, because you have the right to a trial by jury, and you have the right to a jury trial if you're suing somebody for $20 or more. Let's see. Grand jury proceedings. That was March 19th. Now, did you have that right there? Did you have one? If Rachel Covard, Rachel, if you have a link, please put it in the chat. Let me give you a wrench. I'm going to get online on my phone and give you a wrench. I'm signed into Boss Custom Music Writing. If you guys don't know my my other YouTube channel, it is Boss Custom Music Writing. So I'm just gonna put that in there. I need more subscribers over there. Trying to finish up my first symphony. Anyway, let's see. Let me switch accounts. I'm still sliding into Boss Custom Music Writing. I got 328 subscribers over there. I need 1,000 subscribers over there to start YouTube advertising. Let's see. Gun chat number 9 here. All right, turn down my phone. Let's see. Rachel Covard said, I'll email the pic I got and they can seal records. Okay, Rachel. Looks like forced testing. Oh, wow. I can actually read it faster on my phone, the chat on my phone than I can there. Let's see. So Rachel, let me give you a wrench. I don't see a lot of my people with the wrenches tonight. There you go, Rachel. You're a wrench. American Fitness has a wrench. Let's see. Darth Yogi, you've been around for a while. You get a wrench. Let's see. All right. So let's talk more about this. Let's go up. Rachel, when you have a wrench, you can post a link to whatever it is you have, the picture or whatever, in the chat. And we'll go look at it. We'll all go look at it right now. All right. So here's where we are. Constitution lays out that everyone has the right to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's actually in the Declaration of Independence. The cell would become a human, and stopping his pursuit of life is unconstitutional. Yes, it's against our system of justice precedents, but I wouldn't, you might not be able to say it's unconstitutional. You could say it's unconstitutional on the 14th Amendment because they're losing life without due process of law. So, let's see. Great gun, don't overload it. They're not Rugers. You're talking about Smith, I guess.
Yeah, he's talking about carrying a J-frame 357.
Yeah.
It would probably be good. My wife just carry. It was a J-frame in 38, but it was a great.
Yeah.
Have any problem carrying that as long as you're comfortable and good with and accurate with it? It's better than nothing.
Carry what you're
better than a pointy stick, right?
Yeah. Right.
Carry what you're comfortable with.
Carry what you're good with. Carry what you're good and comfortable with. Do you have a preferred general purpose cartridge rifle platform? If I had to own one rifle to do everything, it would be a 308 18-inch medium weight barreled AR-10. An 18-inch medium fluted barrel AR-10 could do anything you need it to. It could be a crap hits the fan battle rifle. It could be a long range precision rifle. It could be a hunting rifle. It could be a home defense rifle. A low power 1 to 6 variable optic on it. You could use it like a red dot on low power, crank it up to 6 and shoot 1,000 yards. It'd be hard. I mean, you'd have to know what you were doing, but I've had to own one thing. I think, John, you agree with that, don't you? Because that's what you do.
That's what I have. Yeah. If I had the money, I'd put one of the new Vortex 1x10s on.
Oh, yeah.
Things are 3 times what they cost. Then it would be all.
To tell you the SIG Tango 4, the 1 to 4 first focal plane is about $500, and it is an excellent scope. And the ballistic drop is already in it for 308 or 5.56. You got to tune it a little bit, but it's an excellent scope. We got one on my wife's 18-inch 5.56, and that's an excellent rifle. And it's an excellent scope. I wish I could pull the gun out to show everybody here, but is what it is. Why is YouTube demonetizing you? That is pathetic. Yeah, pretty much. You get the wrong person reviewing the wrong video, and they see you shoot pork ribs, and they say it's violence. That is why my 6.5 versus 25.
I got demonetized.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I got demonetized. I don't even know how long ago it was. A reading video, like 8 years ago. It was when it was a lot easier to be monetized. They pretty much let anyone monetize their channel, so they demonetized it, and I've never got it back then. Yeah,
so my 6.5 Creedmoor versus 25-06 video was demonetized because I was shooting through pork ribs, and they said that was a violence. Okay, and the same day I shot a 6.5 Creedmoor Winchester deer season, it was monetized, and I shot it through the same block of ballistics gel with the same pack of pork ribs in front of it on the same day. It's like crazy, YouTube. Absolutely crazy. You have to be like screwed up in the head. It's like crazy. Yeah, and I'm saying that on their platform. I don't care. They're going to demonetize my whole channel. All right, I'm not going to quit. They're demonetizing gun channels because they want us to quit. They're eventually just going to kick us all off. Okay. All right. Even though you aren't asking me, I really like the 300 Weatherby Magnum. Yes. Foot pounds are same as the 338 Winchester Magnum. Yes. And if you're brown beer on the menu, I bump up to 340 Weatherby. They're all better. Yeah. They're all great guns. 340 Weatherby is definitely better than 338 Win Mag for brown bear if you can afford to shoot it. 338 Win Mag is expensive enough. 340 Weatherby, even more expensive. What do you think, John? 338 Win Mag or 340 Weatherby? What would you get?
Probably 3 Win Mag.
3 Win Mag, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah.
340 just knocking me around too much.
Yeah. Now I have to say, my wife is my 338 Win Mag. My wife has shot that 7 months pregnant because I got a limb saver on it and a muzzle brake, and she liked shooting that gun.
Again, yeah, it also depends on the setup and the weight of the gun. I mean, but
yeah, and the gun's heavy, yeah. So
yeah, I don't want a lightweight mountain rifle and anything that big.
No, you just be a man and carry it. That's all.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on banana bread? Karen White, how you doing?
Don't like it.
I love the taste of banana bread. I haven't found a good gluten-free bread recipe that also doesn't have soy milk and eggs and beans and all sorts of stuff that I can't have on my special diet. And so if you know all that, if you know something like that, cool. But Karen White, thanks for your thoughts on that. I hope you're still watching because I'm way behind on the chat. So voting for Biden is the same as Hillary. They're both sociopathic individuals. Agreed, but I would add voting for Trump is the same as voting for Hillary or Biden or Obama or Bush the second or whatever. I mean, voting for Trump is like asking for a Bush 6th term. What do you think, John?
I think once you get to that level of government, you're a sociopath anyway.
Yeah, it's like I would love to see somebody run for president and say, I'm going to be a one-term president. These are the things I'm going to do. If I don't do them, kick me out in the Republican primary. That's what I want to see somebody stand up and say. What do you think, John?
Yeah, they're just. And again, it's the like saying, do you want your left boot or the right boot on your neck? I mean, neither of them are.
Yeah, left wing, right wing, they're all the same bird falling out of the sky. All right, Chase has come in. I know Chase, he's a good guy. Chuck, you are equate not having 100% unwavering support of the 2A as bad as left-wing SCOTUS. That is not true at all. Also, Trump has loaded the federal courts with pro-2A judges. Come on, broda. Yeah, we've got to have 100%.
And you're equating Republican of being pro-2A when they've shown not to be.
Right. Trump has put in better judges than Obama did. Okay. I'll grant that. Okay. Trump has put in better judges than Bush did. I'll grant that. Has Trump put in anybody that actually proved they were 2A? Because if those judges proved they were 2A, how come there's 10 cases in front of the Supreme Court?
Yeah, let's get rid of all these unconstitutional laws, and then we don't have to worry about judges.
Exactly. All right. So, all right. That's a lot of cartridge. Yes, it is. It looks like forced testing. Brian Quick, I find that practice is easier to be under gun than over gun, especially when bears are involved. Yeah, okay. So, like, it's better to have that. And they conceal records. I'll email the pic I got. And then that's my other channel. Y'all make sure you go subscribe to Boss Custom Music Writing. I need more subscribers over there so I can sell YouTube advertising over there too. Not voting for Trump equals handing the keys of SCOTUS to radical leftist activists. No, it doesn't. Y'all can die on that hill if you want to, but I sure as hell won't. It doesn't mean that. Not voting for Trump means not voting for a president who is a liberal leftist activist. I mean, he went around the Constitution to ban something that he doesn't have the power to ban and told the ATF to lie about it. That's a liberal leftist activist. That's the definition of liberal leftist activist right there. Trump is that. I can die on that hill. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Yeah, you know, Trump's going to come take your guns. Biden's going to come take your guns. Trump will take your silencers and your assault weapons and your bump stocks first. Biden will just come take your guns. Trump's, it's, do you want incremental or do you want that? So, let's see. Dana DeGraw says she won't be tested. Good to see you, Dana. First time I've seen you in the chat. I'm glad you're here. Just subbed your other channel too. Thank you, Rachel Covard. I appreciate it. Yeah, cool. What does a wrench mean? That means you can moderate, put in links, and you can kick people out, Darth Yogi. Rachel Covard, sorry, but I'm a noob. Can I copy and paste in the chat? Now that I've given you a wrench, yes, you can copy and paste the link into the chat. A link into the chat. Go ahead. Let's see. Tennessee lockpicking. Where you at in Tennessee, man? What's up, guys? I finally caught up with you live. I don't comment a lot, LOL. Tell me what's hard in Tennessee you're in. My mom's from Athens, Tennessee, and my aunt and uncle lived in Cleveland, and we had land for a while before we had to sell it after their death up above Athens, Tennessee. Is where I shot my first squirrel and did a lot of my first hunting. It was great. It was awesome. J Frame 360 PD. Sean Ricky. My next piece will either Glock 20, sold my last one because I need the money, or Glock 31 because I have a load of holsters for the 17, 22, 31 because my duty pistol is a Glock 17. If you're in bear country, go Glock 20 because the mass is it still has the same ish speed as the 357 SIG, but it has the mass of the bullet too. Speed and mass is better penetration than just speed. Bullet construction helps the most. What do you think, John? Should he get a 20 or a 31? So that's 10 millimeter or 357 SIG. You hate Glock. You think we should get?
I'd probably say 20 just because I liked it. Well, again, I like 10 millimeter. If it comes down to between 10 and 357, I'm gonna go 10.
Yeah.
I mean, Glocks. If you like Glocks, that's cool. I mean, I don't fault you. Live your life however you want.
Yeah. I sent my Glock back to the factory twice, though, like a Rock Island.
I did that because I could afford a Rock Island. Trust me, if I had the money, I'd get an Atlas.
Yeah, I heard that. Let's see, Darth Vader, you control. Okay, we're talking about his thing. So yeah, I'd say go Glock 20, Sean. If you plan on shooting hard cast and either one, get a KKM barrel. I put it on my Insta at Ophelia AK. All right, I'm going to look you up on Instagram. Are we friends or following each other on Instagram? Let's see. Search Instagram here. Search. Is that a zero Ophelia AK? Looks like zero Ophelia _ AK. There you are. Okay. So here is, I'll read it to you guys. It is right here. Go friend Ophelia AK with a 0 at the beginning of it. So I'll read it to you guys here. The Alaska Legislature has enacted statutes that provide for court proceedings to authorize the Department of Health and Social Services to test, examine, screen, isolate, or quarantine individuals to prevent the spread of a contagious disease. As 18.15.37.385, in addition, a number of municipal bureau and other local governments have enacted provisions that address situations, provide remedies that are substantially similar to what is addressed in the state statute. Under the state law, the public is excluded from these proceedings unless the respondent elects to have an open hearing. As required by these statutes, the department has adopted regulations to protect the privacy rights of respondents subject to these proceedings. Public interest in disclosure of court records in these proceedings is outweighed by the privacy interests of the respondents and the department's legitimate interest in public safety. See Alaska Administrative Rule 37.6. It is therefore ordered that pending further rule or order by the Alaska Supreme Court, all court records and court proceedings under AS 18.15.375-.385 and under Municipal Bureau and other local government provisions addressing testing, examination, isolation, and or quarantine of individuals to prevent the spread of contagious disease shall be confidential records as defined by Alaska Administrative Rule 37.5 C4 This order applies to all case records of this type, regardless of date of filing. After reading all that, I don't think it's as bad as you make it seem. It doesn't look like they're making you mandatory tests. It's just saying if you are tested or forced to be tested by the government because for your exposure, that you can request it to be public or it's private, from what I can see. So I don't think it's as bad as you were making it out in the comments as force taken, but it looks like it could be interpreted that way. It's pretty vague. Yeah. So don't get me wrong. I'm not good at this computer stuff. I'm only good at mechanical stuff. Yeah, I wish I was the opposite way around. I'm good at computers, but not mechanics. I can barely change my oil in my car. I can do AR-15s and AR-10s because I like that better. Both the same. Oh man, I thought we were about to catch up, but we weren't. Did you guys always just guess? Yes, we did, Mr. Gabriel, M. Gabriel, we did. Unfortunately, they kicked the can down the road. That's part of the thing we were talking about Trump is like everybody's saying we should vote for Trump because he's electing all these 2A courts and justices, and they've done nothing but kick a can down the road. So Trump is anti-2A, supports the USMCA, Saudi's war on Yemen, and has never drained the swamp. He's a Democrat that put an R by his name. He said he flooded the country with immigrants at SOTU. Yeah, and legal immigrants he has flooded the country with. And legal immigrants, over 70% of the time, vote 2-1 liberal. Over 70% of the time, 70% of the time they vote liberal, more than 2-1. So legal immigrants vote against your constitutional rights, vote for government getting in more debt to give them more stuff 70% of the time. That's why the mathematics are there that you will not have another Republican in name only president like Trump. Trump is the last president with a Republican by his name. That's why it was so imperative that a Republican step up and run against him in the primary, and nobody had the balls to do it. None. Okay. Cookeville, Tennessee. Okay, I've heard of that. Where is that at exactly? Is that going out of Nashville, going north towards Kentucky? So that. I hear your point. Trump is a very flawed man and certainly not a true conservative, but not voting for him would absolutely have given the radical left the SCOTUS. Good combo, though. Respect, my man. Maybe. I mean, if the Senate did their job and blocked Supreme Court justices that were bad, it would not absolutely give the radical left SCOTUS. See, I've hunted in Athens. There's more game here than there, though. LOL. Lived in Valdez, Alaska for 2 years. Loved it. Wish I never moved back. Awesome. Yeah, I know. When I move back to the lower 48, and that's going to happen at some point, I'm going to miss it a lot. Just shared your post, Rachel. Yeah, everybody go share that on Instagram. I'm going to hit share right now. I'm going to share it to a few people I know are in Alaska here. Alaska Yog. Let's see. Yep. Chooks Outdoor Adventures. Anyway, shared it with you, John. Keith Wilson. Anyway, so there's that. But shared Rachel's post on that. BCA has cheap G31 barrels for people who already have G22s. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. I don't have a G22, but 10 millimeter versus 357 SIG depends on if you're in Alaska or lower 48. I think if you're anywhere west of the Rocky Mountains, you need 10 millimeter, and anywhere east of the Rocky Mountains, 357 SIG is fine. Though I would not hesitate if that's all I had to take a 357 SIG in the woods up here. I've taken a 9 millimeter in the woods up here and ran into a bear. Just didn't have to fire. So how are you doing at John Fazer? The fishing or spring bear hunting? Bear any good in Toke? So John Fazer has left us for the moment, but that's that. Just got an Insta account to follow some other people. Never thought I'd post to it. Well, thank you, Rachel. We appreciate it. Thanks for the info, guys. I prefer the Glock because I have been carrying one for almost 16 years in the PD, and being left-handed, I can find holsters almost anywhere. I'm slowly rebuilding my collection. Good. That's good for you. Hope you get the Glock 20 for bear protection, but get the 31 if that's what you want. I mean, if it's a woods gun, you live east of the Rocky Mountains, who cares? Get what you want. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. The beginning part gives me serious pause. Yeah, definitely beginning part of that was bad. It is east from Nashville. That means between Nashville and Knoxville, right? Yeah. Um, does Toke have blacktail? No, but it might have whitetail and mule deer. They've just been coming in there. So, all right. Big Al's got to go. Look, no, I've looked on a blacktail range map and it looks like Toke was a border zone. Didn't know if you guys see or harvest them. I don't think blacktail doesn't get much above the coast.
Yeah, got a lot of moose and caribou, not a lot of deer.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, Toke's right there where all the whitetail are moving in, the mule deer are moving in. So,
Supposedly, I haven't seen any of them though.
yeah. Well, no, I found 2 whitetail carcasses the other day. I made a little
You
live
said you
video.
found.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I caught it like like my phone waking up, but like I just got in like the last couple of minutes, and I was like, oh, yeah, you.
Yeah. I bet somebody killed them up north somewhere and dumped them, or killed them down east somewhere and dumped the bodies there. But I called Fish and Game on it, never heard back. Cookville is between Knoxville and Nashville. Cool. Oh, by the way, Tennessee lockpicking. Go Vols. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. All right, let's see. I'm a big Vols fan because I grew up in Georgia, but my mom's dad was from Tennessee, and he got me into football, kind of, and that's that. Live in Pennsylvania. I live in Pennsylvania. I live in Pennsylvania. We have a good black bear population here. Yeah, they do. Cool. So lived 4 places in Pennsylvania. And Gabriel says, good to know. Are you going to run that 10 millimeter and 357 mag test, maybe with Buffalo Bore or a better batch of Underwood? Yes, I have the Buffalo Bore hard cast and the for both 10 millimeter and 357 Magnum. Yes, I do. I think it's my gun. I don't think it's I think that gun's cylinder gap or the chambers are not concentrically aligned or reamed properly, and you got different tolerances in different chambers. I'm going to see if there's like a match grade cylinder for it, and then put the match grade cylinder in the gun. So that's that. Darth Yogi, good point. Don't you guys understand? Outsiders are waging warfare against traditional Americans, not bullets, just millennials. Let's see. Slightly off topic, but I honestly think more states will start to get wolves now. There's a pack in California, Colorado, Utah, Oregon, and Washington has a large number of wolves spread from Wyoming after 1995. Yeah, because they protected wolves for a while in the lower 48. So, what brought you to Alaska? I ran from my divorce. I got a divorce I didn't want, and I ran from my divorce. I said, screw living in this small town in Georgia. Where has teaching jobs left? Oh, Alaska has teaching jobs. That's farther north and west than I wanted to go. Why the heck not? Best decision I ever made. I got a beautiful wife, light years ahead, a baby on the way, might be buying a house, all that jazz. So awesome. Best decision I ever made. So
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if my native state of Ohio or Indiana gets wolves moving down from the Great Lakes within 20 years. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that either. So we have caught up.
Yeah, no, the first time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, the first time I saw a wolf here, because I was like, oh yeah, used to see him on TV and stuff. When I moved up here and actually got to see one, I was like, oh my god, those things are gigantic. The ones here, they stand up like over the car. They're big animals.
Yeah, they are. They're a 200-pound dog, 150.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever move back to the lower 48. Yeah, me neither. But I'm probably going to do it for some life plans in the future. There are some things I miss about moving and living in the lower 48. But once I move there, I'll be missing Alaska like crazy. So that's
5-10 nice about where I'm at.
Yeah, 5, 10, 15 years down the road for me. Alaskan dabbers. I got 2 Glock 20s, bought one used while waiting for the ATF. Took so long approving me at Cabela's, I thought they might close for the Rona before I got approved. Got both, LOL. Cool. See, Lockbanger, I've been and carried a G17 for 4 years and broke down and bought a G19 today, both Gen 4. I've got another set of Chichigan HDXR for my 19 now, LOL. Yeah, I carry a Gen 4 19. That's my primary carry gun. Of course, I've been carrying my Shield 40 lately, but that's that. I saved 2 pregnant mule deer during a drought that were stuck in a dried out rock stock tank with a rotting dead one. Got one out myself and called the state park, and they helped and thanked. Oh, cool. They said the mule deer population was having problems with the disease around there. Oh yeah, okay, so they were having that. So, all right, I want to move to AK, but I'm afraid the mosquitoes, they will carry you off. Congratulations on maybe by the way, getting property. Been looking hard for the last 4 years. Property taxes suck though. Yeah, they suck really bad here.
All right, here you go. It depends where you are. Like where I'm at, there's no property tax.
Right.
We have no property tax, no sales tax. That's what's great. Like if we ever had to go back to the lower 48, we would just leave this house. That's why there's a lot of property here that people are asking way too much money because they don't have to pay property tax on it, so it can sit on the market for 20 years. The house across the street has been on the market for 25 years.
Yeah. But that's Toke. I mean, not a lot of
people. Well, that's,
yeah.
It's just, what is it? It's Matsu, Anchorage, Fairbanks.
Right.
But if you're in the interior anywhere, I don't know if Delta has property tax.
Yeah. We'll see. We got to look at the property taxes on that. All right. Chase, for the Buffalo Bore ammo you bought to test in the 357 mag, $35 super chat. Thank you, Chase. That is awesome, man. Really appreciate that. I guess I need to get to that test sooner than I thought I was going to get to that test. So I might be looking for a round 2 in that. I'm going to do some other ones first. So I've got more ammo and stuff to test than I can shake a stick at. I've got a bunch of 5.56 to test, a bunch of 9mm to test, a bunch of 40. I think I'm good on 40 testing right now. I got some 44 mag to test. I got some 45-70 to test. I've got some 6.5 Creedmoor, several 6.5 Creedmoor, some 25-06 now, a couple of boxes of that, some 45 Super, 45 ACP, 460 Roland we've got planned. So one of my Patreon members, me and him are going hunting and shooting and stuff together because he lives up here with me. And I told him, you're buying gas and all this other stuff. You need to quit supporting me on Patreon. Like, hey, you're putting as much money into the channel buying ammo as I am. So I don't know. Maybe with the baby and school and coaching football and stuff, I can make this a 2-person channel for once. And eventually, if it starts supporting at the $500 or $600 a month level, and right now YouTube advertising is averaging around $270, and I got almost $60 in Patreon, so that's pretty good. So Chase, thank you so much. Doing that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. You don't have to do all that, but I appreciate it. So every time I go to Hawaii, Montana, Idaho, they eat me alive. I guess Alaska has even more. Alaska, the state bird. John, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, there's so many jokes about the mosquitoes here. I mean, they're like same thing as like, yeah, like me wearing a face mask. I have to wear a full face mask with the beard anyway. I can't wear the normal N95 masks. And again, I wear the mask all winter, keep my face warm. In the summer, I wear it to keep the mosquitoes out of my nose and mouth.
Yeah, seriously. Go around with a motorcycle helmet on in the summer. It's crazy. Once I move away from Anchorage, I was looking at Healy. No property taxes. Yeah, but it's cold. That's like right there by Denali. It's cold. It's not like Toke, though. John, what's the lowest temperature you've seen in Toke? -70?
The lowest I've seen is -55.
-55? Did you go through boiling water in the air?
No, I didn't do that. But, I mean, it's just at that point, things get real weird at that point. Like, it's just like the ice fog and like the smoke like comes out of the house and like goes about 2 feet above the house out of the smokestack and then levels out.
Yeah,
it's just real weird at those temperatures.
Hey,
that's what destroyed my car this year is because it was so cold.
Next time it's -55. I'll even sacrifice my little camp stoves to do this. Next time it's -55, or you think it's going to be, call me. You got my number, I think, or text me. We'll make a video shooting boiling water at -50 degrees. What do you think?
We can try. I went out and tried to shoot at -55 because I was doing a ammo stability test, temperature sensitivity, and I could only get about 3 shots off. And I was like, no, this is it. I'm done. I'm going in. This is just too cold. Like my iPhone, like all the iPhone batteries would die. like
Yeah.
the cameras barely will work.
Yeah. You got to put a wrap around your phone and stuff like that, but it's hard. Everything's got to be charged at 100%. You got 10 minutes to do the video, but we'll do it, man. That would be awesome. It doesn't get that low here, but I was thinking about doing boiling water as low as I could here, but it's hard. So, Chase, thoughts on the Alaskan and 44 mag and 454 Casull? I like the Alaskan and 44 mag. It's the only one I shot. 454 Casull is going to be a handful. It hurts in the toe clat that Chuka has. It's not overbearing, but it hurts. And so it's something you would really hurt in that small gun. I want to shoot one, but that's that. Don't think I'm brave enough for Tom. I think she means toke. Yeah, toke. Yep. So, what do you think on that, John? 44 mag in the Alaskan versus 454 Casull.
For shootability, I'd go 44 mag, but I do like 454 Casull.
Yeah.
For the cool factor, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've been seeing more coyotes and less deer in the last 3 years, so I'm sure the coyotes have an effect, but I think there's too much development pushing the whitetails out of my area in Ohio. Yeah, that'll do it too. Got to go to sleep. Can you tell me where your guest on the video is from, John? John is from Tok, Alaska. His name is John Fazer. Look him up on YouTube. That's that. I've lived in Chitina for 9 years. We saw -70. Oh, wow. Or Chitina. Is that Chitina? All right. In my view, E. coli is better than chronic wasting disease. It's like developing here in the Missouri Ozarks. Is Chook still bear hunting? No, but I am. He might go bear hunting on the weekends when he's camping with his new truck. Hey, Chook was like bothering me. Man, I get my tent on that truck. Man, I get my tent on that truck. Man, I get that tent on the truck today. Oh, they couldn't install it today. I got to get it tomorrow. He was like texting me and calling me about it and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, it's like $6,000 on a tent just to do a video on your YouTube page and do more overlanding, and that's crazy. I didn't think it was that cool. I slept in it in Homer. That thing is awesome. That thing is awesome. He was Chook. You were right. I said it on national TV here. All right, on national YouTube, whatever you want to call it. When you are shooting videos, are you on public or private land? Public land. Generally speaking, we go find public land. There's so much public land around here. I wish I was on private land, but no.
Here, our gun club is on public land, but we're trying to buy it to make it private land, or I'm on my own private property.
Cool. Maybe I need to come up to your private property and shoot videos. Shoot some together. We'll do a Glock versus Rock Island Armory. American Minutes might call.
I'll be honest, the Glock will win.
Maybe. Yeah, Glock would win. Well, I think I might call it. Good night, everyone. Night, American Fitness. So it has gone.
Right.
We've gone about an hour more than we usually do. Because I got on several soapboxes, political soapboxes. You guys saw all that. God bless everybody. I'm glad everybody was here. It's so great to see good people. Anybody in the chat that has a channel, make sure you subscribe to them. We are a small gun channel community. And even when we hit big, some of the smaller channels still talk. Bigger channels that were smaller channels that became bigger channels still talk to the smaller channels. It's pretty cool. So what's that? Did you and Shoot go bear hunting recently? Yeah, we spent the last weekend or so in Kachemak Bay State Park, and we both saw a bear. I got a shot off, but it was a stupid shot. I shouldn't have taken it. It was 15 yards with thick brush. 338 just didn't penetrate the thick brush. It was crazy. I thought I heard it crash, but it didn't. My first job in Alaska was working at the Easy Freeze. I learned about how to clean fish like a pro. Then I got on a seine boat. Okay, cool. So we're going to go ahead and get off of here. Alaskan Dabbers, good to see you, man. Thanks for being a good sport on the whole, where your right's coming from thing. I appreciate that. John, what do you have coming up on your channel, John?
Well, I just put a video up today, and I still have a couple just are in the pipeline that I still just have to get them finished up and put up. Just been a big slacker.
John, put the link to your video in the chat, or I'll do it right here. I'm going to find it real quick. Make sure you go check out John Fazer's video from today. Let's see. Guys, John Phaser is with my chat every Monday night, but he's only got 166 subscribers. Guys, go subscribe to him. You put out the May Tac Pack box today, or
yeah, it was just a Tac Pack one.
Okay, well, were you the first to put? This is the first one in May I've seen. Did you get yours 2 weeks earlier than everybody else again?
Everyone keeps saying that, man, and I seem like I always get them late, but
yeah,
here lately I've actually been getting them early. I think I complained enough about getting them late that maybe Tac Pack's paying attention. They actually are sending them to me now early.
All right. Well, I just put John's video in the chat, so make sure you go watch that. Adios, Chase. How do you only have 8,000 subs? It should be a lot more. Thanks, Sean. That is a really nice compliment. It's getting close to 10. I've been working at it for a few years. My first videos were awful, and some people didn't like that. But share my videos, give me more subs. That'd be great. I would love to do this for a living instead of teach school. I love teaching school, but that's that. M. Gabriel just said he just subbed to you. Dana McGraw, have a good night, all. Working on a channel myself. Dana McGraw,
thanks, all.
I'll give you any tips or channels or anything I can do to help Dana figure out what the channel is. So that's that. I'm trying to work on my third channel, but I don't really have the time. And that's a theological channel for, debates about God and stuff. So I haven't really, I really hadn't had the time when you're putting so much into this channel and a little bit into the music channel. So it looks like you've picked up 3 more subs there, John Phaser. So that's that. Coming up on my channel, we've got a 41 Magnum video. We've got 9mm versus 40 versus 45 versus 357 Sig versus 10mm short barrel Liberty Defense coming up. Ballistics gel test. We're going to have HST versus Gold Dot and 40 Smith & Wesson coming up. We're going to have the Liberty Defense, same box of ammo coming out of the Glock 20 and the Glock 40. We're going to have some SIG 223 ammo coming up. We're going to have a 338 Win Mag video coming up and some Beretta APX. And those are just the videos I got to edit. I got a whole lot more to shoot. So I'm hoping this summer that I get enough to make it through football season and hunting season in the fall a lot. So, all right, Tennessee, you're crashing. Good night, man. Yeah, Dana, hit me up on Instagram, Dana DeGraw, and we'll talk, and I will help you in any way I can. If you guys see Dana DeGraw's channel come up, make sure you sub and subscribe. And they can, Dana, you have a channel right now by having a screen name, so people can subscribe to you right now. And when you start putting videos up, you'll already have some views. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the chat. God bless. Take care. We will see you at the range.
That's all. Thanks.